It's senior year. There's no kinks.
Well, trying to get like the bus schedule to line up so we can get over here. 20 minutes for Zach.
Zach's not that even far. Not that far. Run. Did you have PT this morning?
Yes. We did.
No? Get your PT in. Okay. All right, cool. Let's see what we can do. What did we talk about last week? One at a time.
You should snitch so he thinks terrible.
All right, good. I'll take it. Remembered something. Anything else? What did we talk about? Some of you weren't here. What do you got? Yeah, good. Okay, good. Ring a bell. Yep.
Right versus right.
Right versus right. Good. Don't miss next week. We'll have a ball. Blow your mind. Okay. We'll get into right versus right. Okay. Good. I'll take it. Hopefully you're in the right place. I don't do this, especially with seniors, because you guys are the worst when it comes to ad drop. So last week we just kind of jumped right into it. Today we'll back up a little bit about who I am and what this class is going to be. My name is Dr. Payne, which sounds awesome. I know a lot of you from previous semesters. Some of you know a little bit. Some of you I don't know at all. Okay. Anybody? Who have I not had before? Anybody ask about me? Anybody ask around? Huh? What did he say? The big, beautiful idiot.
Yeah, he was perplexed why he thought he was a big beautiful idiot.
I like Abel a lot. He is. He's a good-looking kid. He's super smart. He's annoying. It's very annoying, like how perfect he is. Okay. The reason I called him that actually is because somebody else, an underclassman in a junior, I was asking what he's like as a muck, and they apparently Vice President Pence was coming or something like that, and the band was going to perform, and they kept talking about the vice president, and he had no idea they meant the vice president of the United States. He thought it was just like a VP of the university or something like that. So they finished the briefing, and he's like, "Wait, the vice president of the United States?" That's why. Okay, so I was just trying to see if he had any faults, because I don't think he does. It's really annoying. Okay. Quote I love, a little different for the core: listen to understand, not to respond. When you guys 1,000 years ago, when you're fish, if there was a campo, could somebody say, "Give me campo," and then could you say, "Well, hold on, let me think about it"? Did that go over well? No, not usually, can it? Right? No, it didn't. But in here, you can take a minute, think for a second. You don't just have to blurt shit out, right? For some of you, that's hard. For me, that's hard, right? But listen to understand, not just to respond. All right, who am I? I love to barbecue. Barbecued all weekend. That's the pork butt, brisket, pork belly burnt ends, which is bacon, with a lot of butter and brown sugar. It's like meat candy. Okay, hungry? Am I hungry? This is really bad when I do it for lunch. Okay, I like to brew beer when I have time. I love sports. All of those go really well together, by the way. Okay, I don't always have time because I'm raising world champions. Daddy wants a gold medal and then Stanford Medical School, and I figure these are reasonable expectations put on young children. Okay, my 13-year-old actually won. She won this weekend and that meet. She got a cowboy hat, which I thought was a badass prize. Okay, they're a little tiny. They're in the perfect sport. Okay, and they're both blonde with blue eyes, so I keep buying a lot of guns. Okay. Am I qualified to instruct this course? Again, some of you have had me before. A lot of you guys just go to class. You just show up, and some fool is in the front of the classroom and starts talking. You're like, well, I guess they're in charge. You should probably figure out why the hell they're qualified to instruct the course. Okay, so am I qualified? Got my undergrad at Oregon State University, best baseball team in the country. 3 national championships. How many the Aggies have? 0. Okay, our last one was in 2018. We beat Arkansas. It was great. A&M actually hired one of the former assistant coaches from Oregon State. So I'm optimistic to see how baseball does this year. Okay. I got my master's at University of Florida, and then when I came here to A&M, I did get my PhD, so now I have a ring, and you guys don't look at me like I'm a total foreigner. Civilian experience. I've been teaching full-time for a little over 3 years. I've been teaching in SOMS, I think, for 6 years. I got started here because a cadet actually recommended that I teach these courses, because he's like, we hate 25-year-old PhDs who don't know anything about life. Okay? And I came and met Dr. Keller, and he hired me to start teaching. Before that, I worked for, I did fundraising at universities, moved all over. I worked for the extension service here. Does anybody know what extension is? No? Was anybody in 4-H? 4-H is an extension. Every land grant, you should know this about Texas A&M, every land grant, every state has a land grant university, every state in the union. Texas A&M is the land grant in Texas, which means we have teaching, research, and extension. Extension is rooted in ag. What the goal was to take the research on campus and get it out to the community. Engineers, have you heard of TEACS? No, we know nothing about our university. It's not a campo. Don't care, okay? So I work for the Extension Service, which was a lot of fun. It took me all over Texas. So I've been to pretty much every part of Texas. Did fundraising. I worked in the private sector out of school. We'll probably talk a little bit about that this semester with some experiences I had. And then I am actually, this is new, this fall I got elected to the school board, and I am an elected official. Goddamn right. Okay. Unpaid position for 3 years, so really smart decision. Okay. But it's been fun and interesting, so we'll see if anything useful comes out of that to bring to class. I also serve in the Air Force. I serve in the Air National Guard, so I do that part-time. We do counter-drug operations. We are watching you, okay? That's it. That's at Ellington Field in Houston, but I'm actually transitioning to San Antonio, Lackland to be a first sergeant, which I'm very excited about. Okay, my teaching style, most of you should know. Sometimes we're a little lecture heavy. Try not to be. This is an interactive course. Hopefully you've enjoyed SOMS. You guys at least chose to take 482 on your own free will, maybe just because you want the certificate. That is good enough for me. Okay? This is an interactive course. We will have open dialogue. Right? Please engage. You do not have to agree with me. My goal is not to get you to think like me. My goal is to get you to think for yourself. Okay? You don't even have to agree with each other. We will have a lot of discussions. I touched on this last week. We'll have some serious discussions. Okay? I like to have fun. I like to joke around with you guys. We will have very serious conversations in 482. We'll get into that a little bit next week. Right? Some of them are fun. Some of them are very, very serious. So just know when to probably not joke around. Okay, but we'll talk about some very serious subjects. I learned that the hard way, and we'll get into that. Okay, but for the most part, it's a lot of fun. I was getting ready to present to a bunch of faculty one time, and one of them, he's a big deal. He goes to Washington, D.C. He works on the Farm Bill and all this stuff. He gets paid a lot of money here at A&M. And I was getting ready to present. Right before I started, he leans forward and he goes, "Hey, try not to suck." Thanks, buddy. That's good advice. So I try not to suck. Okay, come to class. Got to be here. Got to be here. Got to be here. 1 credit class, whether you took it for 0 or 1 credit. Okay, we only meet 50 minutes a week. We meet like 15 times. Okay, I get about 15 hours to change your life. Will I change your life? Solid endorsement right there. Okay, mild shrug. That's pretty good out of Brandon. Okay, not doesn't say much. Okay, so please be here. All right. We also live in Canvas. I use Canvas as an extension beyond the classroom because we only meet once a week. You need to get the book. And I mostly use Canvas for the book and discussions that we will have. We won't read the whole thing. You guys are terrible about reading. You don't retain anything. You're unapologetic about how much you will not read. Okay? You have to get the book, and you have to get it for our assignments. Right? You do actually need to read it. The feedback from cadets on this book is mixed. Most of it's positive, but it is not like Triple Crown Leadership last semester. That book is very much here's an example of what happened, and here were the results. This book is written by a psychologist. It is not like that. I much prefer this book. I think it's a great book. But for where you guys are, I think some of you just have a harder time because where are my engineers? There's a lot of you. You guys like the examples, right? Let me solve the problem, okay? People are shitty. They're not great problems to solve. Okay, they're very complex. And this book kind of gets into that a little bit, and I think is good. Honest to goodness, I would buy this and save it. None of you will do it. If you do, call me and I'll change your grade to a name. Buy this book, keep it, and in 5 or 10 years, then read it. After you've been out in the workforce for a while, go back and read it, and you'll be like, holy shit, I understand. Okay? So hang in there, and hopefully we'll get some good use out of it. Do I ask a lot outside of class? No, I really don't. So just keep up with your assignments. I absolutely try not to overwhelm you. Okay, for those of you who have not had me before. Be outspoken in class. Be out thoughtful. Do not have your phones out, please, unless we're using them for something. We'll go over it in a second. My contact info is on the syllabus. I'm usually here all day Tuesday. I've got back-to-back classes, and I usually eat at Dunkin' Delicious. and hang out for a while. So you can usually catch me here on Tuesday. Outside of that, you can email me or text me or call me. I put my cell phone number on there. If you want to text me, totally fine. Okay, just a couple things. One, if it's late and you're working on an assignment that's due at midnight, my old ass is asleep. Okay, so I'm probably not going to bail you out. If it's a quick question or whatever, I will do my best to get back to you. Please tell me who you are and what class it is. Okay, I teach here and I teach at Sam Houston. I have way too many students. I love you all to death, but sometimes I get confused when you're asking me questions as to what class and what assignment is. Okay, but by all means, you can do that. And if I'm not, I'll happily hold office hours at the chicken. Okay, so if you see me at the chicken, say howdy and I'll buy you a beer. Everybody 21? Good, good. Best burger in town. All right, quickly we'll go over this because it's boring and you guys can read and you're all seniors. Again, contact info, there we go. There's the book. For whatever reason, a couple years ago, you have a question? Oh, God, it happens every time. Thank you for pointing that out.
What kind of beer do you brew?
I like ambers and reds. I usually buy the kit. I cheat a little bit, but when I'm with my brother, we'll brew from scratch. Excuse me. For whatever reason, though, if you can find the book for free online, that's great. Just make sure it's the right one. For whatever reason, some students a few years ago bought one to share. They bought it off of Amazon. It was the same cover. The inside of the book was about a woman who lived in a cabin alone. It was very strange, okay? And it was several weeks before they put that all together. So just make sure it's the right book, okay? I don't give quizzes in class or tests unless you guys are fucking off, okay? If I feel like you're not reading, I will give you a blank piece of paper that says, tell me about the reading, okay? Which is actually how we discovered it. I had like 3 or 4 questions. But ask open-ended questions because you can bullshit your way through multiple choice. Okay? I remember being an undergrad. Right? I didn't read either.
So what happened to the students that had the cabin book?
It was, God, let's see. This was probably before your time. They would have been seniors when you were fish, maybe. I had a really good student. I think he had a gold star. He was a great kid, kind of a punk. And he just wrote bullshit answers on there. I was like, what are you doing, dude? And he's like, none of the questions were about the book. It's like, I read the book. And then he told me what it was about, and I was like, it was hilarious. And it was like 3 of them that were sharing the book. So it ended badly for 3 of them. All by accident. It really wasn't their fault. Okay, sorry, sometimes, okay, I teach here and I teach at Sam. eCampus is dead here. We use Canvas, and we use Blackboard at Sam. If I say the wrong thing, please ask me to clarify. It's all the same. Canvas, eCampus, Blackboard, all means the same thing. Blah, 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 you can read that. Okay, grading, here's what matters to you guys, excuse me. We'll do stuff in class, assignments and stuff on Canvas. Class participation is 25% of your grade. Be here. You literally just have to be here, right? All the time, right? We'll go over absences, okay? Show up. Biggest thing you can do for that. There's a rubric in here, it doesn't matter. You guys are almost done, but if you take it for pass-fail, you got to get a C to pass, okay? If you did 0 or 1 credit, it has no bearing on your grade. If you're like, 0 credit, pass-fail, easy, it doesn't change anything with how your grade works, okay? You got to get a C or better to pass and get the certificate and all that good stuff, which we'll go over here in the next week or 2, right? The discussions, there's an assignments tab in Canvas and a discussions tab, okay? This week's discussion is based on the reading. It's already posted, right? Not only do you need to post yours, you got to go and reply to a couple other. I do this for a couple reasons. One, it's not just reply and forget about it. I want you to actually see what other students think about the exact same thing you read, because you guys don't all agree, right? Don't just write, great post. If you write that, explain why, right? If you disagree, explain, I don't care, right? But go ahead and engage and see if you actually get something out of it. Other reason I do this, who's considering grad school? A few of you, quite a few of you, okay? You will do a lot of this in grad school. It's not just, here's my stupid assignment and move on. You have to engage with our students, especially a lot of them that are online learning. If anybody's considering the Bush School, you will do this extensively. Okay? So I'm just trying to get you in a good habit. Questions on the grading? Cool, okay. That says I get to do whatever I want, which is awesome. Okay, attendance, the other thing we need to go over. You get 1 unexcused absence for the semester. We don't meet that many times. Okay, so if you missed last week, don't miss anymore. COVID is still a pain in the ass, okay? Please get documentation if you're out. If you test positive or whatever, take a picture of the test. I had a student who took an at-home test, no documentation. Just please get documentation, all right? You probably need it for any of your classes, but make sure you get documentation. That way I can then excuse the absence and allow you to make it up, okay? 2 unexcused absences, 5% off your grade. 3, 10%. 4 is an automatic failure in the class. If you're not here 4 times unexcused, you fail the class. No ifs, ands, or buts, or whether you did the assignments or not, okay? Just be here, cool? Questions on that? If you have an excused absence, and this is going to be my downfall, but I'm trying to help you guys, right? I record class and I post it on YouTube. Again, we talk about serious stuff and I say stupid shit and somebody's gonna cancel me and I'm gonna get fired, okay? I do this to help you guys out. I was like, well, I could probably post it in Canvas, but if I said something stupid, you could just take a screenshot and, I don't know, send it to Fox News and have me fired, okay? So that's why I record class. I post it on YouTube, usually the same day. If you miss with an excused absence, you need to write up a 1 to 2 page recap of class. Cool? I think I put that in an announcement already, right? So if you miss class and it's excused, you got to make it up. Cool? Questions on that? All the details, I think, for that were the announcement that I posted yesterday. Everything else is boring and lame. There's your rubric for your class participation. 0 credit hour, we're good. The deadline passed. You want to know a secret? You can actually still change that, but your advisor has to do it. You can no longer do it. Good, okay. So you can, technically you can still change it, but you can't do it anymore. Your advisor has to do it. So if you're failing all your classes like Aristotle, and you get to the end of the semester, you're like, oh, I need a credit, then you can change it, okay? I've had Aristotle before, I know. What's your bench up to?
Going down right now. I'm cutting.
Slacker. Okay, makeup, blah, blah, blah. Everything else is boring and required and stuff you know.
Can the core advisors change it, or do you have to go to your like normal leader advisor?
I have no idea.
You go because for requirements, you go to your
Okay, cool. Oh, for every hour of class you have, how many hours are you supposed to study?
3.
1 to 3. You gonna do that for SOMS?
Nope.
Telling the truth. Okay, finally. No, I try very hard not to overwhelm you. Those of you who had me before, I really don't ask a lot. Okay, so please keep up with your assignments and all that good stuff. Okay? There's you guys. Every semester. Okay? A lot of you don't believe me. I'm in the core, it's really hard. No, it's awesome. Life is awesome. Okay? It's all going, here's where you're headed. Okay? You're like, look at me, I got my boots. I'm not a fish anymore. It's all downhill. Never leave here. Stay here as long as you can. Fail classes. We're not going to win a national championship for what, another year or 2? A couple more football seasons, okay? You see that linebacker? Decommitted. It's all falling apart. Fire Jim.
We'll get him back.
A week before signing day, he decommits?
Wait till signing.
Optimist? You're an optimistic person.
I'm realistic.
I know.
Some stuff that said we might get that.
We'll see, okay? Now, here's the funny part. Who just wants to be done and go make money? Yeah, okay? You're making a horrible mistake and you don't understand. And in 5 or 10 years, you can call me. Be like, hey, that weird guy was right, okay? You go, no, I'll just make money and life will be easy. I won't have homework or have to PT. No! You have to work, right? Who wants to have a family? Yeah, you gotta have kids. You have to provide. We know you have them. You gotta feed them, okay? You have to take care of them, right? Stay here as long as you can. You don't appreciate it now, but you will one day. Okay. All right, so now's our opportunity to tell me a little bit about you. And the video's on, so take it through some pass it back. Please answer these questions. Some of you have terrible handwriting. Please write legibly. We need any more? A couple more?
I think the relationships that grow versus result with the guys in the class, that's not even anywhere and everything else.
Say that again.
So I think relationships that you build
Oh, you're talking about the recruit?
with the guys in the class, and
Doesn't matter. You still have a great class. I mean, yeah, you
Oh,
want
for
the kid.
sure, for sure.
Some of those freshmen are gonna be playing next year, like a lot. I put music on, but my phone's recording, and I can't sing. Huh?
Would you consider self-employed occupation?
Yeah, whatever you want for your dream occupation. I don't care. If you've been to a lot of states or countries, you can just estimate. Did you do OCS already? Done?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Contract right now. Commissioner. Awesome. Good for you. What's your job? Huh? Oh, I forgot about that. You know language? This dumbass was supposed to be in this class. I don't know. He didn't register. Tell him he needs to take it. Krempel's taking it from somebody else, so at least she couldn't take this one, so I at least talked her into taking it.
The application's due February 1st, so I'm finishing up that right now.
So you're basically deciding whether you get in or not. Or do you
I
want to
think
do grad
I'll get
school?
in, but I need a full ride. They only give out 5, so if I don't get it, then I'm not gonna get it.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna take the debt. I think I can find a job elsewhere.
Good? Still working? Couple of you? Why do you have midnights on?
Because I don't like wearing the black jacket and it's cold outside. You can always dress up.
I thought you couldn't anymore. I thought you had to get approval.
That's
Not for dressing up.
You could wear the higher rank uniform than a uniform.
I thought they changed it like recently.
Couple guys in my outfit have gotten in trouble for dressing it up.
Yeah, the juniors told me like last semester that you can't do that.
Then he has an interview.
It's only illegal.
You get interviewed.
Well, that's what I'm asking. I don't care. I don't know what the youth, but somebody, because some people do that a lot. They prefer the midnights, and then some picture or whatever interview. Huh?
Because they look sexy.
Argumentative.
So it's better than the Band-Aid uniform.
Those. Yeah. Yeah, they look good. Clothes never made a man. We good? Everybody good? Okay. What'd you learn? You guys had 281, right? With us in the Hollingsworth Center? Because it used to not 281 used to not belong to the Hollingsworth Center, but you guys were the first. That was COVID, right? COVID hit in the middle of it.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. What'd you learn? What'd you learn in SOMS before now?
Your weaknesses, your strengths.
Good. Better. You were in my class. Okay. Good. I'll take it.
How important it is to take extreme responsibility for your people.
Okay. Good. I'll take it. What else?
Qualities of successful organizations.
Good. Okay.
Leadership styles.
Styles. Okay. Good. Everybody remember doing Clifton Strengths? I think you had to do Myers-Briggs like freshman year, right? Okay. Did you know, like, I think it was like right before you guys, like literally a year or two before you guys, they used to separate men and women for SOMS freshman year? Yeah, I don't know why. Okay. But it wasn't very long ago. Okay. Did you guys do resumes? Huh?
I don't know if we did it in
This is hit and miss. You're supposed to do it in 281, but I don't think everybody did. No? Okay. You should have, but I don't think everybody did. Did constraints, Aristotle mentioned. Did you guys have the willpower instinct? Yeah, last year, right? Okay, you guys were the first ones to do that. Did you like that?
It was
It's new, and I think it's good. I like it a lot better than what we used to do. It seems to be mostly positive from y'all. Okay. Do you have the ability to change? Huh? No, do you have the ability to change? Do you want to? Okay, what'd you do last semester? 481, what'd you learn? Triple crown, okay. What else?
failed leadership.
Failed leadership, good. What else?
Steel bit versus velvet stroke.
Steel and velvet, okay, good. I'll take it. You got you cadets love to glom onto that chapter, okay, which is fine. Yeah, good. What else?
You can work with a healthy amount of stress.
Good. Okay, I'll take it. I'll be honest. 41 is probably the hardest one to teach because we're trying to teach you authentic leadership style, like how you're authentic, and that's really hard to do in the classroom. Okay, but to me, 481 is pretty tough. I think you'll like 42 a lot better. Here's what we're going to cover: ethical dimensions in complex situations. A lot of that. Hopefully, it's fun and interesting. If you've had me before, I've teased you with some of these, some of the scenarios. All right, that we'll do in 42. Various ethical philosophies. Personal philosophy for ethical decision making. Yep. Developing personal effectiveness as an ethical leader. I hope so. We'll find out. Some of you probably won't be. We'll see. Okay. What does the Corps make? We make. Do we?
Leaders of question.
Okay. Design and discuss personal philosophies for developing ethical competencies. Yeah, in others. Okay, good. Bless you, COVID. True or false? Leadership is manipulation. True? True? No? False? Okay. Who says true? Okay, Switzerland. What is it? Are you a little pregnant? No, you're one or the other. Okay, but it doesn't say this. Leadership is manipulation. True or false? A what?
Fine, it can still be manipulation even with good leadership.
Okay, what do you mean?
I mean, you can still like hype people up, and it may be the right thing, but one person may not agree. You get them on board just by the words that you say, and that's manipulation.
Okay? What do we think about that?
Well, just persuading somebody to be a part of something isn't necessarily manipulation.
What's the
You can
difference?
genuinely change somebody's mind or viewpoint without manipulating.
What's the
Can you?
difference except that manipulation just has a negative connotation that doesn't have to be there?
Spit in my
Both
class
mean
for
the
it.
same
Thought
thing.
crossed my mind.
Who has a hard time with the word manipulation? Who doesn't like that word? Taylor, why?
I don't know. It just sounds like really messed up, I guess. Like, you can manipulate things, I guess, and that's isn't messed up, you know, like in your own you, but manipulating people is just, I don't know,
Why?
makes me really
Why?
bad vibe.
You just don't like it. Okay, good. Thomas?
I think people don't like to be manipulated because they like to think they have control over their own actions, and that's why there's a negative.
Do they?
Some people do.
I like to say that.
What do you mean?
I mean, I like to be manipulated to become a better student.
Okay. All right.
A lot of people might not be willing to admit that during class, but I mean, there's obvious benefits to it.
Who does not like to be manipulated? Probably most people, right? But it's the connotation of manipulation. All right. What do we got? Some of you had your hands up. What do you got?
I looked up the definition of manipulate, right? So, all right, one of like the definitions is to influence, right? So like that is the same word, and I think a lot of people would take influence differently, you know.
Okay. I'll take it. What do we got?
I kind of want to piggyback off of that. I think that a lot of times people like the benefits of being manipulated to an extent, but they don't like to know they're being manipulated.
I would take that. Is that where you guys fall in? Okay. So who does not like manual labor? Okay, perfect. Remind me your name?
Right.
Ryan. Okay. If I tell you to go dig a ditch, you gonna do it?
Nope.
It's out. Okay. Who's not gonna do it? Who does not want to go dig a ditch? Stop, my man. Okay. No. Taylor. No. Okay.
Give me $100.
Huh?
Give me $100 on it.
100.
9? Okay. Let's do this. You said no. Fine. Don't have to. Now, Ryan, Taylor, Aristotle. If you dig that ditch, that village down there that you can see, we can see it, it's real, it's tangible. That village will have running water for the first time ever. You'll change their lives for the better, right? And it's a big deal. And they will know you and remember you and appreciate for them. You gonna go dig the ditch? Aristotle, yes. Taylor? Yes? Maybe? Did I just manipulate you, Taylor?
You gave me a why, and I think that that's really important.
Oh my God, she's so good. So good. But did I manipulate you?
I guess, yeah.
I sure as hell did. What's the difference? But what's the difference between manipulate and influence?
Manipulation has negative or
Did it? Definition?
motives.
A negative what? I'm sorry.
Negative ulterior motives, and it's like it's me convincing you to do something based on my behalf, and influencing somebody is showing them a path of them being able to choose.
No, that's the connotation we apply to society, but that's not what the word means.
I think that's what it is.
So you don't like the word manipulate.
I don't necessarily like it or not, but manipulation is doing something with negative ulterior motives.
But it's
like
not.
blackmail.
But I didn't. I gave her the reason why.
And she chose.
Correct, but I didn't negatively influence her. I didn't give her a malicious reason.
I would say you influenced her, not manipulate.
What's the difference?
I already told you.
My point is there's not one. But it's how you perceive the word. Which is most people don't like the word manipulate. But it's not a negative thing in all reality. You view it that way, which is fine. But Taylor now doesn't. You didn't like being manipulated, right? And I just manipulated you and you said you'd do it. Right? Aristotle, what do we got? Why'd you change your mind?
Dang it.
He just wanted the notoriety. Fine. I don't care what the reason is, but I found a reason, didn't I? I gave him a reason that's going to stroke his ego, and now he wants to go do it. Ryan's still not sure. Okay, what do you got?
I think that manipulation is giving a reason to tip the balance of the yes and no options.
Sure.
Yeah, so because you give a reason, helping this village, they will be more, they will say that if you do yes, you will get some kind of benefit. If you do no, that's fine. If
And even the reason I gave wasn't enough to make Ryan do it. Okay? Selfish individual, doesn't care, hates people.
Amen to that.
Okay. For your generation, and you're not millennials. You're behind millennials. People will lump you in there. I'm closer to being millennial than you guys are. Okay. Everyone needs to know why. Think back 1,000 years ago when you were fish and you were terrible, terrible fish. Not me. Yeah, you were. All of you were. Okay. We were a really good class. No, you're the same as everyone else. Okay. Now, how many of you got told to do stuff freshman and sophomore year and you didn't want to do it because you didn't understand why? Everyone? Yeah. So, as you moved up the chain simply by passing your classes for no other reason, okay, that's why you got promoted, then you had to delegate, right? And what happened when you told people to do things? Huh?
They didn't want to do it.
Why not?
You didn't tell them.
Because you're a shitty leader. Okay? Now, sometimes you do okay, right? Would you ever tell them to do something and they did a terrible job? Like they got it done, but you were frustrated? What happened? Why?
Let's say our freshmen were usually is like we everyone on capital investment and we're not addressing us with the serious things or like not addressing themselves as fish.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Did it bother you?
I guess
Whose
yes.
fault was it?
Us.
It's fish. Always a fish. Always the fish's fault. Yeah, it's your fault. Why?
Because we're not being tough on them.
You're not being clear, right? Or you're not giving a reason why. Who's the best college football coach in the country?
Jimbo Fisher.
Don't say it.
Saban.
Say it.
He
Okay.
beat Saban.
Huh?
He beat Saban.
Yeah, we did beat Saban.
Once.
Twice.
Great odds. Okay, what are we, 2 and 10?
Well, broke a 100 win streak.
No, it's good. It's a big deal. Were we supposed to? No. Okay, my buddy who was in the band, before the game, he's like, if we win today, I'm jumping in the fish pond. And we absolutely did that. He did it at like 12 o'clock that night. It was great. Okay. He was not even the only one. Right? Okay. Saban, best college football coach in the country. Okay, most championships, right? Does Saban coach the same way he did 20 years ago?
No.
No, why not?
Because you have to adjust to the times. They've adjusted their offense in the past 5 years or so.
Not just the offense. What has he changed with how he coaches? If you don't know, that's okay.
He doesn't yell. He doesn't get all angry anymore.
Why?
Because his granddaughter saw him on TV one time and asked him why he was so mad at just a game.
That's part of it. You were on the right track, okay? What happens? What have we got?
People respond better, not yelling. Like he's more soft spoken now. And
What-
he stands up for his players as well.
Yeah, okay. Sticks up for him. Is he? If you're just yelling at somebody, are you coaching him? No. Why not, Gary?
I mean, I can just yell at you right now and nobody would get anything out of it.
Yeah. Remember freshman year, you didn't like getting yelled at first, and then like a week or two goes by, and they're yelling again. You just stood there, right? Had no bearing. Didn't impact you anymore. You didn't care. Okay. Why? Wore off. Okay. So Saban now has a bunch of 5 stars, right? 1 million of them. What happens if he yells at them now? What if they get their feelings hurt?
To go to A&M.
They're out of here. Some kid from Georgia just won a championship at Georgia and just flipped Alabama. Okay. Saban can't just grab their face mask and yell in their face, which is how he was coached when he was younger. He's had to evolve and change. Because now these coddled 5 stars, which do exist, right? They've happened here. They'll peace out. They're going somewhere else. Okay? So you actually have to, you got to tell them why. Why do you run that route? But I'm not getting the ball. Yeah, but you're the decoy. If you run the right route and it pulls the safety over and he gets open, we score. Okay? You got to explain why. Right? And that's your generation in particular, and millennials and most people. But the younger generation wants to know why. When they hire you guys now, like companies are still trying to figure y'all out. Okay? Even if you get hired, it's still temporary in some situations. It's like a 3-year deal. Okay? Because they want to see if you'll actually stick and work and everything. Okay? We'll get into that. True or false? Old Army's dead.
True.
True.
Oh, you guys have had me before. Why? Why is it dead? When did it die?
It's ineffective.
The day we
Huh?
got here.
With me?
With you?
Yeah.
Yes, good answer. When else?
It died the second year of the corporation.
Year 2. We moved out of tents. It's been downhill ever since. These guys are soft. I have a buddy that graduated 08, 09. He hates that you have quad bucks. He hates it. Okay? Absolutely despises the fact that you guys have Starbucks right over there. Just graduated a few years ago. Okay? Old Army's dead. When else? When did it die? With you, I like. That's a good one. Year 2.
This semester. Well, yeah, I'm serious. We can't like PT for like I don't even know the reason why. Yeah. And
What does
that's the
PT have to do with Old Army?
Well, we like the PT as an outfit and walk into Dunkin' like in sweats after you did
Yeah,
like.
harder if you do it anyways.
Yeah.
What's stopping you? Somebody's saying
We
don't
do.
do it?
My other favorite answer is right before I got here. This is my other year 2 and right before I got here.
When I became a pisshead.
I like that it died with you, huh?
I became a pisshead.
When you became, yep, it's all your guys' fault. Okay, it's all downhill. Still have an old lady? Still whip out? Still out marching? Still PT? Saw you out there this morning. Barely. Still have hospital corners, room inspections? Still eat at shitty Dunkin'?
Unfortunately.
Is Old Army dead?
Yes.
Why?
What was Old Army?
What was Old Army?
Hazing. Back when it was actually a student-run organization.
Is it not?
No, it's
No.
not.
Why not?
Definitely not.
Because we have CTOs.
Because we're shitty leaders.
Working on it. Why is it not student run? Who influences change in the court the most?
Commandant staff.
Quad
Oh, yeah.
Solid fair answer. Solid fair answer. Okay.
That is true.
Who?
That is.
Cadets. Without question, 100%. Cadets are the one that influence change. Now, Quadmon may say, they yelled at my baby. Don't yell at my baby. Okay, you're still going to get yelled at. Okay, maybe not by CTO, right? But you might get yelled at even by your buddy, right? For screwing up. But cadets are the ones that said that there was no leadership model before what we have now. None. I have met old ags. I have toured all over the state meeting old ags. I met some that were here when they let women in. There were like 5, and they knew their names, majors, and where they were from. Because they hadn't had girls on campus before, and they were very excited about it. They would tell you, this was not a good place. Right? They would see Bauer and be like, did your dad go here? Yes, sir. Your dad, I hope you're not as dumb as your dad. Like, there's a lot of faculty that retired when they let underserved populations and women in here. Okay, not a great place. Is it better now?
Yes.
Yeah, reluctantly. Okay? Is it better? Yeah. Okay. Is Old Army really dead? Do you guys still fuck up and do shit you're not supposed to?
Yes.
On purpose?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you still get away with stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
You're smart enough.
I won't ask about
We
hazing.
shouldn't have
because yeah, if you're smart enough. Okay. Huh?
We shouldn't have to get away with it.
Why?
Because 25 push-ups outside and 25 push-ups in a room is still 25 push-ups.
Here's the problem with hazing, which you guys love to do. Who came here to get hazed? Yes, some of you did. Dad and Granddad went through it. It was great. Build character. Is there a single job in the world where you just yell at somebody's face to be an effective leader?
Construction.
It's going to wear off, right? You can do it. You do it at basic training. You do it at Officer Candidate School, right? But then it wears off, doesn't it? You just stand there. I'm getting yelled at. Who gives a shit? They can't touch you, right? They might. They can't. Okay. Now, I get it. Some of you came here for that, and that's fine. What's the problem with hazing?
It's not effective.
Sometimes it is. I would even let you argue that some of it is. Okay?
It's not socially
What's the
acceptable.
problem? No, I don't care.
It just creates resentment between both classes, I guess, both sides.
You're more online. Let's go.
It takes one thing to ruin the whole organization and cut it off.
The problem is there's no line. There's no definition. And you guys are habitual line crossers. You're like raptors, always testing the fence for weakness. Okay, what can I get away with? The problem is there's no line. Right? That's why hazing is a problem. Because there were cadets who came here who didn't earn their brass fish year and left and hate this place. They hate A&M. Okay? But they never got built back up, right? We told you were crap when you were fish, and then we built you back up. And then instantly told you that you were leaders and sophomores. Okay? So there's people that it wasn't a good experience, right? So the problem with hazing is there's no definition. Right? That's where it gets really tough. What is allowed and what's not allowed? What's too much and what's not? It's hard. It is hard. It's hard every day. It's hard every year. But cadets are absolutely the reason we have a leadership model today. Because freshmen and sophomores were like, it doesn't build character for me to clean up puke in the hallways at 3 in the morning when seniors came back from North Game. That's not developing character. That's not making you better. It's just shitty. Okay? Now, again, there's lines. But the problem is the lines. Okay? We're going to run out of time, which is fine. Okay. Can you assess yourself accurately?
At times.
Sometimes, right? You usually know when you did good. You know when you screwed up. Okay? Should you question leadership?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's not always right.
It's not always right. Okay? Life or death situations, military, should you question leadership? You're goddamn right. You better know what you're getting into or how you're getting out. No different in the civilian world. Okay? Now, there's a time, a place, and a way to do it. Bless you. Are you guys good leaders?
No.
Working on it.
Okay, good. No? Anybody? Nice. All right. Yes. A lot of you guys are really good at being humble. Like you really know, like some of you think you're the shit, like Aristotle, right? And you'll openly talk about it. Most of you are like, I'm the shit, but I'm not supposed to talk that way. I'll take it. Fair enough, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? How do you know, Brandon?
I know from where I started, from what I learned from the Corps, what bad leadership looks like. And I'm not perfect, but I do think I have a grasp of what a good leader looks like.
Okay, cool. I'll take it, all right? How do you guys develop your leadership styles?
Trial and error.
From what?
Watching myself, my buddies, my upperclassmen, underclassmen try to do things.
Okay.
Fail.
What else? What do you got, Lenny?
Learning from others, like those who came before us, what we might.
Okay, what else? What do you got? Aaron?
I'd say environment mainly.
From what? You specifically. You guys are all speaking in generalities.
Say, like, you learn something.
Core, what else?
And then you apply it, and then you like
What
analyze.
did you do?
Using it on fish.
Huh?
Using it on fish.
Everyone's core. What do you got?
I had
I'm gonna hold you over.
an upperclassman drop all the core antics outside of the core, and I listened to him all the time,
Okay.
and I applied that.
Okay. How long have you guys been in the Corps? 3.5 years? 4 years? How long were you alive before you got here? Like 18 years? Did anybody play sports? Do any extracurricular things? Spent a lot of time on this earth before you got here. Okay? Those are experiences you can count to. Okay? I don't want to hold you over. We'll finish this up next week. The assignment is posted, so you need to book and knock it out. The cards, just leave them on your desk and I will grab them. Thank you. Go be awesome. Have a wonderful week.